All right, everybody, give me a moment. We get to share it out and we'll get started. All right, y'all, give me a moment. I'm sharing this out real quick. Share it out on Facebook and some other places. So we can get started. Whoa, what happened? Okay, got one more place to share it to, and then we're gonna get started. Do that on LinkedIn. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Good morning, Sophie. How you doing?
Good morning, sir.
Okay. You commented something about the feed had stopped. The video feed had stopped on one of my broadcasts. Was that something that had happened while you was on live, or?
No, sir. I was trying to watch my videos, and the whole screen was just blue, like blue blocks and blue, just different colors and stuff. And I was like, what happened to the feed on this? So that's why I said I couldn't see. I could hear you, but I couldn't see what you were showing.
Okay. It was one of my older videos.
No, it was one of the ones I need to watch. I had to see it. I don't know why it was doing that, but it did. That's why I said I couldn't see it.
Did it clear itself up later, or what?
It just, I watched about 15 minutes of it with it being blue, and then I just said I couldn't see it because I couldn't see what you was talking about. You know, like.
All right. Well, after the broadcast, hit me up and or just send me the link to that video, and I'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Okay. Want you to see if it's a problem with the video itself, or with YouTube, or if it's a problem with just your system. But shoot me that video, shoot me that link, and I'll take a look at it. All right, let me go ahead and get started. Go ahead and acknowledge some people and start my let's call it here. All right, I'm going to start my recording. Give me a moment. All right, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning. It is 6:15 a.m., so we're getting started on time this morning. So, and this is the Load Board Report, a daily look at what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability. And of course, this is sponsored by the Rbbs Logistics Learning Centers and the National Dispatchers Network, okay, where we train anyone to earn $100,000 plus per year dispatching freight from home. And not only do we train you to do it, but we give you the tools, the resources, the network, and training to make it all possible. And that's what we do here at the Rbbs Logistics Learning Center and the National Dispatchers Network. And of course, the Rbbs Logistics Learning Center is our on-site logistics vocational school located here in Tallahassee, Florida, with a beautiful campus and a beautiful school we have here in Tallahassee, Florida. And we're the only one that has guaranteed career placement offers from bonded logistics brokerage firms and state licensed accredited dispatch firms after successful course completion. The only one. No one does that. And of course, our Logistics Learning Center is for those people who are seeking to become freight broker agents or dispatch firm agents. We provide you with all the training, great curriculum, great instructors. All of our instructors are owners of bonded brokerage firms or owners of dispatch firms, state licensed dispatch firms. So you know you're getting trained by people who know what they are doing. All right, so let's get started this morning on the Load Board Report. And my name is Calvin Butler, of course, and I am your host for the Load Board Report every weekday morning. And let's check over here with our YouTube people and see what we got going on with them. Y'all give me just one moment, and I will refresh my screen on YouTube so we can see what's going on. There it is. The Load Board Report is what we're watching right now. My homepage here, and let's check to see who's watching us on YouTube. see who's checked in on YouTube. All right, this morning on YouTube, I want to say good morning to D Wiz, Dre Wiz. That's DREWEWGZZ. He says yo yo. Okay, well yo back at you. We have Christina on the on YouTube with us this morning. Has checked in. Good morning. She put up the bright sunny sunshine there. Well, it's cold here. Sun's not quite out yet, but good morning to you. And from here in sunny Florida, and we have Kevin Kreiner. Says good morning. Good morning, Kevin. Now that's 3 that's checked in. We have 5 that's watching. For those of you who are watching and you want to check in, just check in with us. Say hi, good morning, yo yo, or however you want to, do your greeting, and we'll be happy to greet you right back. As always, we're going to be giving away some free freight here on the Load Board Report this morning. So if you are a owner operator or a lease operator, or you just out there looking for some freight, or you are a dispatcher and you have your own dispatch firm and you're looking for some freight for your clients, give me a call this morning, 866-973-6445. That's 866-973-6445. Right here on my old trusted iPhone here, and make that call. Hit extension 1 or extension 2. You're getting me live here on the Load Board Report. Tell me what type of trailer you're looking, or what type of trailer you have, where you're located. Give me your city and state, and I will look up you some free freight, and we will break it down for you. Give you all the information on it. Tell you who the broker is, give you the number. We'll even do a bike haul search for you to see if we can get you back to where you started from, because there's no point of going out there if you can't get back in there. So we're going to send you out, and we'll see if we can find you a load coming back. And then we'll do even one better. We will check to see if that load can possibly be turned into a dedicated, which means, can it possibly be one of those loads that run every day? And if that's the case, are you going to be able to contact the broker and go ahead and get set up to run that load every day? Now, that's where it's at, because that's where the money's at. So that's what we're going to be doing here on the Load Board Report. We do that every morning, as you all know. So make that call, 866-973-6445, extension 1 or extension 2. If you are a truck driver out there, owner operator, lease operator, or if you're a dispatcher for a trucking company, or if you're an independent dispatcher and you dispatch for several owner operators, you need to find them some loads this morning. If you just need to learn how to manage trucks and how to operate on the load boards the correct way. Notice I said the correct way, because that's what we're all about here at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. We teach people how to do this thing the right way. All right. In the studio this morning, live with us on our Zoom, we have Miss Sophia Moore. Thank you, Sophia, for joining us this morning. Now, let me go ahead and start sharing my screen here. Y'all give me just one moment. I will get everybody pulled up. Let's start sharing my screen this morning. All right, there we go. And there you can see our YouTube people. Dre Wiggs just says, I have a step day. Well, Dre Wiggs out. He's coming out quick this morning, fire. He want to make sure he's the first one. He have a step deck, 53 foot, looking for military freight from Virginia to anywhere. Ooh, that's gonna be a challenge this morning, looking for that military freight, because most of the time the load boards don't classify whether it's military or not. Okay, now that is a challenge. Now, what we're going to have to do is we may have to do some searching for some direct shippers that cater to military type freight. So, or we may have to go to the good old trusted World Wide Web and search Google to see if we can find you a source that has military freight. Okay. So let us give me a moment, and I'll go ahead and do my thing with the taking a look at what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability, and then we'll jump on that for you, Dre Wiggs. All right, let me get back over here to where we at here. There we go. Our live training. As you know, all of our students and members of the RBBS, the Distance Learning Center National Dispatchers Network, they get to come on to our site and to our back office site as subscription paying members, and they get to access all our back office tools and resources. And of course, this is the area that I'm talking about here under this little more section on our National Dispatch Network page or website. We have a secure area here. All this stuff in this drop down is all secure login. So you have to have an actual login to access this stuff. And I get messages all the time, every day, where people ask me how can they get a login. Well, you gotta pay. Okay, you gotta become a paid subscription member. Okay, I give away a lot of stuff for free, but I don't give away everything for free. Okay, so you gotta pay to become a subscription paid member, and once you pay to become a subscription paid member, then you will get access to all these beneficial and beautiful back office tools and resources. So this is where we go to do all of our, do what we do. All right, so let's check on the load board. Let's check on and see what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability this morning. All right, as always, we are doing our load searches on one of our sites that we provide to our students, which is Direct Freight is what we're at this morning. Direct Freight. I love this load board. I love this load board. I love this load board. So starting out, let's go over here and start over here in Maine. Over here in Maine today, we have a total of 571 loads. Now, someone asked me to start giving them information on some loads that were running out of Canada. So I'm going to be giving these Canadian reports also too. So out of Maine, 571 loads are available in Maine. In Vermont, we have 124 loads showing available. In New Hampshire, we have 118 loads showing available in New Hampshire. In Massachusetts, we have 1,329 loads available. In Rhode Island, we have 65 loads showing available. In Connecticut, we have 1,054 loads. In New Jersey, we have 1,784 loads showing available. In Delaware, we have 389 loads. In Maryland, we have 1,648 loads. Jumping back over here to New York, we have 2,482 loads. In PA, Pennsylvania, we have 3,575 loads available this morning. In Ohio, we have 3,619 loads available. In West Virginia, we have 380 loads available. In Virginia, we have 2,701 loads available. In North Carolina, we have 2,087 loads. In South Carolina, we have 1,555 loads. In Georgia, well, y'all know the song, Ray Charles. All right, in Georgia, we have 2,716 loads available. Down here in Florida, my home state, my neck of the woods, my stomping ground, my backyard, we have 2,388 loads available here in the sunny, cold day state in Florida right now. In Alabama, we have 3,445 loads available. Up in Mississippi, MISS, ISS, IPP, well, y'all know what it is. We have 1,154 loads. In Tennessee, we have 1,964 loads. In Nashville, the Grand Ole Opry, y'all know that. Y'all know what the Grand Ole Opry is. Gotta refresh. We gotta refresh. Tennessee has 1,964 loads still. In Kentucky, we have 1,846 loads showing available. In Indiana, we have 2,935 loads. In Michigan, we have 2,262 loads. In Wisconsin, we have 2,250 loads showing available. In Illinois, up there near Chi-Town, Chicago, we have 4,257 loads running out of Illinois this morning. In Missouri, the show me state, they are showing us 1,884 loads. In Arkansas, the Razorback country, I still don't know what a Razorback is. 2,473 loads. In Louisiana, home of Popeye's fried chicken, home of the gumbo, home of the po' boy, If y'all ain't never had a good po' boy, you missing something. Home of beignets. Oh, God, I love beignets. We have 1,041 loads down in Louisiana, where they have New Orleans. Y'all know what the school in New Orleans. I went to Dillard University out there, 2601 Gentilly Boulevard, right there in New Orleans, right there in the heart of New Orleans. Well, I went to school down there. In Texas, we have 5,648 loads. In Oklahoma, we have 705 loads. In Kansas, we have 29 loads, sorry. In Nebraska, we have 665 loads. That's the state of them Omaha steaks. They be running them frozen steaks and frozen seafood and all that stuff. They ran it down here to Florida, y'all. I ran a great run from there to Lexington, Nebraska, down to Miami, Florida. Well, that was a good run. Pay good money too. In South Dakota, we have 727 loads. In North Dakota, we have 155 loads. In Montana, we have 557 loads. In Wyoming, we have 395 loads. In Colorado, we have an even 1,000 loads. In New Mexico, we have 300 loads. Down here in the great state of Texas, we have 5,648 loads. Are they still leading the count? Yes, Texas, as always, is still leading the count on load availability. Trying to jump on over here to Arizona. We have 1,043 loads. In Utah, 1,077 loads. I do Wyoming. If I didn't do Wyoming, we have 395 loads. In Idaho, we have 1,328 loads. And in Montana, 557 loads. In the great state of Washington, cold Washington, up in the mountains, way up in the mountains, we have 1,861 loads. In Oregon, we have 2,051 loads. I ran some loads up there in Portland, going through the Ashley Mountains up there. Beautiful, but God, I hate driving up there. I'm telling you, I can do it. I don't mind driving the mountains, but it was something about going up and down them mountains all night long. It was just nerve wracking. But anyway, that's what they got up there in Oregon. 2,051 loads. In Nevada, the city that never sleeps, Las Vegas, down there with that city don't never sleep, y'all. What goes on in Vegas stays where? In Vegas, but not these loads. You got 443 loads coming out of Nevada. And in the great state of California, anyway, y'all know the Tupac, 2,317 loads. And in Alaska, we have, for your super truckers, we have 9 loads. Now, because I had a request from somebody shot me an email or instant message or something, and they were saying, well, what about Mexico and what about Canada? Well, our load board doesn't give a whole bunch of information on Mexico, but in Mexico right now, it's showing a total of 7 loads that it does show down here in Mexico loads. And in Canada, in British Columbia loads, we have 90 loads. In Alberta loads, we have 219 loads. In the province of okay, I'm about to mess this up. We got to refresh. In the province of Saskatchewan, whatever, we have 129 loads. Now, y'all people up in Canada, don't get mad at me, because I'm not good at these words. I guess it might be Indian or something like that, or French, or something of that nature. But y'all know who y'all is. You got 129 loads up there. All right, over here in Manitoba, we have 78 loads. In Ontario, we have 179 loads, and in Quebec, we're showing 93 loads available. All right, that's what is going on when it comes to a look at in your neighborhood when it comes to loads and freight availability on the load count. It's a good snapshot of the country. You can take and look at your loads, and you can refresh it. If you want to refresh it, hit refresh now, and it'll give you a refresh of the screen and show you, the latest updates. Sometimes when y'all see that, when it blanks out like that and it comes back on, it's automatically refreshing. That means some loads have either been picked up and accounted for, and they're taking them off, and some loads have just been added. Some new loads have just been added to it. So it gives you that. All right, let's go to this load search this morning. All right, we've been hit with a challenge this morning. Dre Wiggs says, I have a step deck, 53 foot, looking for a military freight from Virginia to anywhere. Okay. First of all, he's in Virginia. Now, I know of some military posts in Virginia, like Fort Pickett, Virginia. What else is in Virginia? So what we gotta have to do is this, all right? Because he's looking for a specific type of freight, military freight. All right, so that's a challenge. So let's see what we can do here, because we try to step up to the plate on all challenges. We don't shy away from challenges. So first of all, I'm gonna go back to our tools and resources here, and I'm gonna go to one of our areas and see, first of all, where military freight is located. Excuse me. I apologize. I'm up early this morning. In order to do that, we're going to go to our good old tools and resources. Okay? We're going to go to our tools and resources, and we're going to go to a source for government. We're going to go to our government SIC code site, where every shipper in the United States is registered. So let's go to our government SIC code site, and let's see if we can find some military freight. All right, on our government SIC code site, here's what we're able to do. Usually we can put in a product or a service, and it'll pull up all those shippers that move that product or service. So let's try military. Let's see if military pops up. Okay, nothing for military. All right, to continue, please enter text shown. Oh, I've never had this before. Let's see here. S8F. I've never had this pop up before. Oh, come on. Let's try this. 6 P. All right. Probably because I'm asking for something that they don't normally have. Okay, so I don't think anything's going to be classified under military, because it's right off it gave me something that I've never seen before. It never asked me for any of that human verification test stuff. So let's try this again. Let's try this again. M. E. 8. See, yeah, it's giving me all this crazy crap now. M. 3. F. And it's never done this before. All right. Apparently, it doesn't have military loads. So let's try. And we're under products and services. If I go to company name, let's try. What other classification could military load be under? Let's try. What does military ship? Let's try weapons. Let's try weapons. Same thing. It's not giving me that either. All right. Okay, it don't like that search. It don't like that. Now I said this is going to be a challenge, so let's try this again. Let's try this again. We're gonna try and make this happen. See, now you done confuse my system. 9 to 4K. You done confused my system because it has never done this before. You got my system all confused and discombobulated. Let me make sure my system is still working properly. Yes, Sophie, what's your question?
Can you try military equipment transport?
All right, let's try MIL. Military equipment. EQ. Well, it looks like Sophie got us turned on to something. All right, there it is. Military equipment. All right. So, shippers that move military equipment. All right, here we have military equipment supplies. We have 224 shippers that move that. Thank you, Sophie. See, this is why a networking platform works. Y'all see how networking works? If you have a platform that has networking, I mean, like I said, you always learn from other people. I even learn from my students. My students learn from me. My students learn from each other. My students learn from other people who are in our network who are not really students, who just come to our platform to save money. Networking. That's networking. And that's the element that it seems that most of these freight broker training programs and platforms, they are missing. Most of the training platforms, whether it's dispatching or freight broker, they're missing that networking element. And that's what we have here, is that networking type of element. Thanks, Sophie. You hit that one on the head. All right, so military equipment supplies, we got quite a few sources that you can go to. Okay, military equipment supplies, we have 225, hits on that. Shippers that move military ground controlled equipment, we have 5 companies that move that. Aircraft parts and artillery equipment, military equipment, and armament, we have 123 shippers. Fire control equipment, repair services, military, we have 106. So if you were in our back office, all you have to do is click on one of these. And I'm going to do this this morning. Let me go with that verification again. 7, 8, H. I guess they must be getting a lot of automated searches. They want to make sure that people are real. Because I've never, they kicked me back out to what's called again. This verification thing is becoming a problem. Let's try this again. Military equipment. All right. If you give me another verification, I'm gonna be pissed off. It might be the browser too. All right, it looks like they have a problem with the page. It keeps either this or it keeps giving me a verification notice to verify the load, to verify I'm human. And it's never done that before. And I was on this site a day ago. I was looking up some new shippers, and it wasn't giving me this, but now it is. Let me try a simple search real quick. See if it's the search criteria. Nope, it's not that. It keeps giving me this verification thing. C E 0. No, that's Q. All right. It keeps giving me this. Let me try browsing by heading. See if it's got anything down here. Let's see, military. Nope. There's nothing in the heading of military. All right, this is a challenge this morning. We're trying to do this challenge. Let me open in another link, see if that does it. Let's try opening it in another link. Nope, that still didn't do it. Ugh. Yeah, Sophie. All right. I was able to get okay, I was able to get on through military procurement, and I got these right here, these companies right here. So when I clicked on military ground controlled equipment, I was able to pull up those 5 companies. What were you about to say, Sophie?
Yes, I was gonna say that if he had a connect at a armory or a near base or somebody that worked there, they could maybe give him the information. Because
Yeah, that's true.
I was offering a job like that through the armory right here where I stay at. The
Okay.
armory.
All right. I hope you heard that. She was saying that if you know of some bases in Virginia, you could contact those military bases, and they would be able to give you information on how to get military loads. Now, but for the purpose of today's broadcast, he presented the challenge for us to find him some military loads, on the load boards. Well, load boards don't normally have them classified as military. You can search, and we'll do that search too, but I wanted to check our military, our government connection first. Here are some, stuff down here that shows like some stuff, different websites you can go to that has military tactical gear online, and some of them, but these are just ads really. But this area here is where we're at. Like I was able to find these companies right here through the military procurement through our zip code site. So let's see what they have. You have High Country Trek Incorporated, you have Trust One Military, and you have Harlan Corp, and you have Judd Wire Incorporated, and you have Rex Systems Incorporated. But you wanted something out of Virginia. So that's California, Kansas, Massachusetts, and Wisconsin. None of those are out of Virginia. Let's see. Let's try some of this other stuff. Let's try military equipment and supplies. Let's try to open that up. All right, now it seems to be working properly. All right, military equipment and supplies. All right, let's see if I can refine this search or browse more products. All right, Arizona, California, New York, Irving, New York. This is where they're located. These different companies. New York. I'm looking for something that's in Virginia. You have Pennsylvania. Now you have North Carolina, which is close to Virginia. So we know there's somewhere close to Virginia. There's North Carolina. Who else we have? All right. Looks like the closest thing we have right now is showing is in North Carolina. Let me check one of the other ones. Let's check this one out. Aircraft. Let's check out the aircraft one. All right, on the aircraft, let's see what we have. We have Texas, California. We're looking for Virginia here. See if he has anything that's coming out of Virginia. No Virginia. All right. So looks like the closest thing we have to Virginia is going to be North Carolina, which is right here, Charlotte, North Carolina. And we click on them. He's giving me that verification thing again. Damn it. Yes, Sophie.
You know why they doing that? Because you could be a terrorist or somebody that trying to get on the base to hurt something. That's probably why they're doing that.
Yeah, it's probably one of the security protocols. You know, it's probably a security protocol when you're looking for stuff like this. And that's the first thing we put in this morning. We up early this morning looking for military stuff. Y'all gonna have the doggone FBI knocking at my door. Good morning, Mr. Mueller. We're with the FBI and the Secret Service. Can we have a moment of your time? No. All right. Okay. So, all right. So let's try something else. Let's try a different tactic. All right. We know that they exist. Let's try something else. Let's go over here and first of all, let me check the load board real quick and see what Virginia has to offer on the load board when it comes to military load. Let's see here. Now, there's not a category load type. There's not a category for military. I don't think. Max flat, intermodal. Nope. There's not a category for military. So let's do some cross references. Let's do some cross references. Let's go to Google. Okay, let's try this, and let's look for Virginia military. Shippers. All right. Let's cross check this. All right. So we're in military shipping in Virginia Beach. Pack mail. Now this is just regular shipping. Military veteran movers, joint personnel, property shipping, and military transporters. All right. Trucking company. Well, that's a trucking company. You're looking for freight. Virginia military vehicle shipping. All right, this they do. Hold up. Let's try this one. Virginia military freight. Let's refine this. Freight. The military has lots of stuff. The port can move it. Yeah, I know the port can. How do I get military freight loads? How do I get military hotshot loads? Okay. You can always go to Google. Okay, apply for your. Well, see, yeah. All right. You got to. All right. If you are a broker, you have to have a SAC code. Okay. I know this because we have one. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Show y'all what a SAC code is. Ship with rbbs.com. Go to our shippers onboarding site. We have a SAC code. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all what a SAC code is here. Onboarding packet. All right, see this right here? This is a SAC code. You have to have a SAC code assigned in order to move military freight. Okay. this was us back when we were a brokerage firm. That was my partner, Michael Jones. He was the president of the company. I was the vice president. He was the CEO, and I was the COO. But this was our SAT code for the Rbbs Transport LLC, which was our brokerage firm. And we had a SAT code, which our SAT code was RBBT. And you get a SAT code letter and certificate and stuff like this. Customs and Border Protection, this alpha code is applied to the company shown above, approximately 2 months prior to expiration of the SAT code, after whatever Friday was, right? And you have to have this, as you can see over here, to be able to, move military freight. So you have to apply for a standard carrier alpha code, SAT code. Okay, you have to set up an account with the U.S. Bank. You have to have completed the program registration form. You have to get a DoD performance bond. That's Department of Defense. Okay, that's separate. That is separate from your what? Your surety bond. You're gonna have to have a DoD performance bond, and of course, you gotta do your regular compliance, comply with cargo insurance requirements. I think with the military, they wanted you to have at least $1 million. Okay, and on our insurance, we had 1.5 million. Okay, and you got to get hazmat certificate if you would transport hazardous materials. So, but with that being said, if you have all that, or if your carrier has all that, all right, if your carrier has all that, or then let's see that's the first thing. You got to have that. You got to have that stuff. Okay. Let's check to see. What I was looking for is military bases. I was looking for companies that have military freight forwarding services. I'm not looking for different. Hold up, let me try this, because we have a source for brokers. Let me try to think, what other source do we have? Yeah, we've been presented with a challenge this morning, so we're trying to live up to this challenge. We have another source that has. Let me try our source here. This is here we go, Trucking Planet. Let's try a Trucking Planet. Y'all give me a second. I gotta pause my sharing here real quick. I don't want these people who are not members to be peeking at our stuff. Okay, let me unpause it. Resume sharing. Okay, let me log into my Trucking Planet account. Okay, now let's see if I can find something on here. Database, flatbed, refrigerated, distribution, wholesalers, fresh products, exporters, medical. There's nothing here that says anything about military. Okay, let's go to freight. We have view freight. Let's see if we can find something in here as far as military freight. All right. Flatbed load coming out of Virginia. There's nothing in here that classifies equipment. Nothing in here that classifies military. Let's go to Virginia. All right. Now, what I'm looking for is stuff that may be coming out of Virginia that's at a base or military base is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for anything that would give me an indication that it's military specifically. And I'm not really seeing anything that's going to be military specifically. Now, one good thing about military freight, if you do find it, it is probably going to be dedicated. More than likely, it is going to be dedicated type freight because the military is very repetitive. If y'all know anything about the military, they are very repetitive. They do the same thing over and over and over. I mean, to the point that it will just bore you to freaking death. I mean, that's what they do. I know. I did 10 years in the military because they are repetitive. So they do the same thing over and over because it saves them time. It saves them money when they get into that rut like that, and they have a whole bunch of people that are coming into the military and going out. So it makes sense for them to have a set way of doing things, and so everybody's on the same page, walking in the same step, you know, at the same pace, you know, all the time. So that's the great thing about military. Now, this is a little bit different from what we normally do on the load board report, but someone presented us with a challenge to find some military freight. So that's what we're trying to do, is find them some military freight. Now, here's the best thing I can tell you. I would do this. Virginia military bases. I'll go to a Virginia military bases. Okay, what military bases are in Virginia? All right. Fort Lee is located 3 miles from Petersburg, Virginia, 160 miles DC, 21 miles. Okay. How many military bases are in Virginia? All right. There are a total of 27 military bases in Virginia. Okay. A total of 27. So let's go here, virginiamilitarybase.com. All right. All right. Here is your military bases in Virginia. Now, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all been not have the doggone Secret Service and the NSA showing up at my door doing all this search this morning. All right, so here are your military bases. You have Langley, okay, Air Force Base. If y'all don't know anything about Langley, Virginia, that's where the CIA is, y'all. Okay, so you might want to be careful when you start, talking about Langley. Yes, Sophie, what's up?
I have somebody that's in the military checking on that for that guy that's asking about it. If he can check in on another day, then I can have that information for him. All right. Somebody that's already in the military.
All right, cool. All right. Michelle gave us a link here, articles, how to access. Good morning, Michelle. How you doing? Let's go and click on this, how to access military. Good morning. Don't miss out. Okay. All right, I'm going to share this link with you on YouTube on how to access military. Okay. All right, here's a link on how to access military freight. But yeah, see, that's the thing. Most load boards, I mean, you may see a pop-up on a load board every now and then that will tell you that this is a military load, but there's not a classification on load boards for military, specifically military freight. Okay. And it's probably that way for a reason, because of national security, protocols. It's probably a good reason why you don't have a classification. Somebody's going to look for some military freight. Yeah, because you move stuff in the military, it's usually high security. Because when I was with Covenant Transport, they had a military contract, and they only gave the military contract to drivers who had a history of getting that freight there on time. Okay. So me and my partner, we had a good history with Covenant. After being with Covenant for about 6 months, we had developed a good track record. We were never late on a load. So we got our first military load. And here's what happens. And I had never seen this in trucking ever. I didn't know this existed in trucking. Now, as you know, in trucking, you cannot, most trucking companies will tell you cannot carry weapons. Okay, you can't carry weapons or firearms. You can't carry firearms. They have a thing against firearms because you can't transport them from state to state, different laws and all that type of stuff. But when we ran those military, when we was on this military law, I can't tell y'all where, because I can't tell y'all where we picked up at, because that was classified. I can't tell you what we was transporting because I don't know. But all I do know is we got issued tasers. Me and my driving partner, we got issued tasers, the kind that, not the kind where you go up and stick somebody, the kind that shoots them out. Right? Them kind of tasers, like the kind that law enforcement carry. We got issued tasers. We had an escort, and we had strict rules that someone had to be in that truck at all times. If we stopped anywhere to get fuel, to get food, to shower, or anything, someone had to remain in that truck. You could never leave that load unaccompanied. I'm not talking about eyesight, just in eyesight. You had to be in that, someone had to be, one of us had to be in that truck at all times. Okay. They gave us a list of things to look for, security protocol, things to look for. You know, we was supposed to check to make sure that if we didn't see the same type of vehicle follow us at any, given time from different, state to state or city to city or whatever, or when we change routes, whatever, we couldn't just have just a straight route. We had to take like detours to go in different, making what they call in the military, they call them crazy Ivans. Anybody know what a crazy Ivan is? It's a naval term used for submarines to determine if someone is, if another submarine is following you, which means you're on a certain route, but you would take you would do what's called a crazy Ivan, which means you would, at any point in time, it's not scheduled, it's not written down, but you just get off route, and you do it on purpose. You get off route on purpose to see if someone's going to follow you off route, and then you reroute to get back on route. You have to do that at least 3 times in making that trip. That is to determine or to help you or your driving partner to identify if someone is following you. Okay, so Covenant had those military things, and depending on, and I'm sure that's not the case with every military shipment, but apparently whatever we was transporting, it required that. Okay, so that's been my experience. That was my experience with a military load. Okay, so you just have to. I don't know what it paid, because we got paid our normal 63 cents per mile. Me and my well, that's what I was making with Covenant as a company driver. Covenant pays well for y'all. They pay well, very well. We had all our hazmats and all that type of stuff. So we got so they start you off, I think, at 56 cents per mile. Then you get bonuses for hazmat, other mileage, this, other mileage. And me and my partner, and plus we were both military veterans, so we got extra money for that too. And so all total up, we was getting 63 cents per mile with Covenant. So, but there you go. Hey, that's about the best I can do as far as military freight. I can do Virginia and see what they got coming out of some areas that are classified military, but you normally, if I do the pay rate, military freight is usually high paying freight. Okay, government is notorious for just throwing away money. Okay, I'll tell y'all that right now. Military is usually high paying freight. So if you look on some of these, high dollar freights on here, and you click on it, and it may tell you if it's military or not, which I doubt it. You have to call the broker. So, you know, there are some sources there. Sophia says that you can check back with us later on this week on one of our local reports. She'll have the information from her source, and then we'll see if we can get that over to you at some point in time. But that's about the best we can do as far as identifying just straight up military freight. You can check with various brokers to see if they have any military freight. I would call brokers to see if they have military freight. Some of the large brokerage firms like TQL, Chop Tank, Coyote. Check with like a lot of like the large brokerage firms. Chances are they got some military freight. MLM Trucking, what's that? What are they? MLM Trucking. This company has additional freight. What is MLM Trucking? What type of freight they have? Trying to get a company profile on them. I was looking at them because their initials kind of, say MLM Trucking. It might have been, an acronym for military trucking. So I was just checking on that. But that's about the best I can do for you as far as right now doing this little short time that we have available to us. Awesome. He says, thanks. Look, the best we can do. It's good to have your own MC number as a dispatcher and hazmat. Is it good? Yes and no. To have your own MC number as a dispatcher is kind of like a waste of money. I'll be honest with you. It's a waste of money. I mean, it's not going to get you any more freight than you would get if you don't have one. Why? Because the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Association, the statute that governs all individuals that work in freight, the statute that covers freight brokers and dispatchers, because dispatchers are in the statute, in case y'all didn't know, for those people say, well, dispatchers are illegal. Okay, no, they're not. They're written into the statute. CFR 371, 49.1 through 49.4. There's a statute there. Little thing you read, it's got 11 to 13 pages, so the whole statute. Don't just read just one paragraph, read the whole statute. There's provision there for bona fide agents. A bona fide agent is a dispatcher. Okay? The statute states that bona fide agents do not need, nor are they required to have an MC number, DOT number, insurance, or a bond, because they are what? A bona fide agent of the carrier or carriers that they have under contract to find said carrier suitable freight. Okay, persuading to said carrier specific criteria. That's directly from the statute, y'all. Okay, so no, you don't need it. Is it gonna be an advantage to you? No, that's like having a fancy title. It ain't gonna get you no more money. You're in the same industry, still doing the same thing. It's just a fancy title. Now, would it somehow make you look more prestigious in the eyes of an owner operator? Not really. Owner operators don't give a crap about what type of stuff you got in front of your name. They just want to know you can find them good paying freight. You can find them good paying freight. You can find them dedicated loads. You can help them to get their truck running and earning anywhere from $400,000 to $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 a year. Then, I mean, I could have Calvin Peabody in front of my name, or the title dumbass in front of my name. It don't matter. It don't matter. What matters is the bottom line. What matters is your performance. Okay. So no, I don't. It's not gonna do you any good to have this stuff, because guess what? Your carrier's gotta have it. Your carrier's gotta have it anyway. So why would you have it? You're not driving the truck. You're not transporting anything. So you don't need an MC number. It's not required of you. You don't need it. You don't need a hazmat. Why would a dispatcher need a hazmat? Are you going to be in the truck shifting them gears, navigating? No, you at home like I am right now, sitting in front of your computer. So what purpose is it for a hazmat or an MC number for a dispatcher? No purpose whatsoever. Save your money. Okay. Save your money, do this thing and make all the money you ever want to make. I make more than $100,000 a year every year, and I don't have a hazmat on my dispatcher's firm. I don't have, MC number or none of that stuff as a dispatcher. Now, as a broker, yes, I had that. As an owner operator, I had hazmat. But that's when it served because I was actually driving a truck. So, but no, you don't need it. All right. Let me do this real quick because this is a local report, and we are out of time. But let me go and do this real quick. I'm gonna do a quick search because we got kind of off the mark looking for those military loads, but I like to try and live up to a challenge. And I want to do some more research on military loads. Let's do a Virginia search since we were on Virginia. Let's do a Virginia search for flatbed loads, since that's what he was looking for. We'll at least do that. One thing about flatbed loads, the military like their stuff to be covered. So let's do flatbed tarp. Also two. Okay. Another thing about military loads, they're normally heavy. Okay. The military don't ship no light stuff. They don't ship no just a little bit. I'll tell y'all right now. If you gotta be moving military freight, you ain't gonna get no little 5,000-pound loads. What's called every military load I know is gonna be 40,000 pounds or greater. Yes, Sophie.
I thought he said he had a step deck.
Oh yeah, step deck. All right, step deck. He did say that, didn't he? He did say he had a step deck. Step deck. There we go. Got another chat here. We got another one here. Military defense. Michelle's providing us some good information, y'all. She over here doing some work. She networking as we broadcast. And I'm trying to move it over to share it over to y'all. This really is provided by Michelle on some military stuff too. There's a link you can go to right there. Also. Okay, a business article on hauling military freight. But military freight is good money. It's consistent money. It's good and consistent money. Once you prove yourself on the military load, you ain't gonna have no problem with running their freight because they're gonna come back to you all the time, and they're gonna be seeking you out. They're gonna have plenty. Military got plenty of work for you. Military got plenty of work for everybody. And one thing about it, they ain't cheap. Military is not cheap because they ain't spending none of their money. They spend our money, taxpayers' money. They're spending your money. They're spending our money. That's why the military is not cheap. That's why they pay good. That's why they don't mind wasting money on stuff. They overspend on everything because it's not their money anyway. So they don't care. They just go spend it. All right. What was I at here? We was looking at some military. We were looking at some freight, step deck, and all that type of stuff. All right. Here we go. All right. Let's take out this. Let's take out that. Let's just do step deck. Coming out of Virginia, step deck loads coming out of Virginia. All right, here's what you got coming out of Virginia this morning with step deck loads. And let's go with the as I always like to look for the estimated rate per mile versus the pay rate. Now, some of y'all will probably say, well, I want the most money. Well, if you're looking at the estimated rate per mile, that is the most money. But some of y'all may be under the, looking on the rule of, well, the pay rate, because that has a higher dollar amount. But it's not always the highest rate per mile. I mean, you can have a great dollar amount. Let's say, let's find one that's got like a really, really good dollar amount. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. But you can have a great dollar amount, but not necessarily have the best rate per mile. Okay, like look at this one right here. That one is $2,700, right? Or take this one. This one is $2,300, but it's only $1.74 per mile. When you could have, here's one right here that's $1,900, but it's $3.15 per mile. Here's another one that's $1,900 something, but it's $3.31 per mile. So which is paying better? That one is paying more money, but this one is paying a higher dollar rate per mile. And you look at the miles, you got to go to make that 1,300 miles, $1.74 a mile. You're burning up most of your money in fuel. So I don't necessarily look for the pay rate. I look for this right here, the dollar per mile. Because if you get the dollar per mile, you're actually making more money, even though your rate might not be as high as but you're not spending as much money on your And normally these little ones like this are short enough where you can run 2 or 3 of them in one day, and you're definitely gonna make a whole lot more money than you would have made on those long runs and spending all of that money and time. Because in trucking, time is money. Because if you spending 3-4 days to run one load, right, at $2,000 or $3,000 on one load, when you could have ran 3 loads per day at $1,000 per day. So which would you rather have? Would you have a load that pays you $3,000 for 3 days or 4 days it takes to run it, or would you rather have 3 loads that's paying, $700 each on those 3 loads that ran every day? That's $1,400 a day versus $3,000 for the entire week. That's a no-brainer. So that's how I like to look at it. All right, out of Virginia, what we got for step next out of Virginia, we have a 38-mile run leaving from Culpeper going to Fredericksburg, Virginia, is a step deck. It's 48,000 pounds, $300, paying $7.89 per mile. It is leaving today, and that load has been available for about 10 hours. So that's been on there. That broker's probably anxious to move that load. Call Sureway Transportation Company at 479-208-4125 on that particular load. Now, if you're looking for some dedicated type stuff, here you go right here. You've got leaving out of Norfolk, Virginia. Okay. Leaving out of Warsaw, Virginia. Warsaw, Virginia, going to Annapolis, Maryland. Okay. 117-mile run. You got them leaving today, tomorrow, and on Friday. You got to leave them Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Chances are that's going to repeat next week, because if they're running like that, chances are that is a dedicated, and that's a good dedicated, because it's paying anywhere from $6.84 per mile up to $7.05 per mile. Now, how do we know this is dedicated? Because you have multiple brokers that have it, and you have the same broker that has it on different days. So that means it is a dedicated run. That load runs every day, y'all. Runs every day. The brokers to call on that one. The one that you know has it for every day is Fuze, F-U-Z-E, Fuse. What do people come up with these names? Logistics Services USA, 763-432-3680. Okay, so you can run that one every day, and that's paying $800 with Fuse Logistics. $800 $6.84 per mile. Global has it. Global Trans has it at $7.05 per mile, but it's not verified that Global has it as a dedicated. They may have it just a one-time shot at it, just a one-off, but Fuse has it as a dedicated. All right. All right, y'all. You got some other stuff on here. I'm trying to see what other stuff you have as far as dedicated, because y'all know I like dedicated. Here's one right here, dedicated, 175-mile run from Culpeper to Lewisburg, 19th, the 20th, running on the 19th and the 20th. And looks like it's got, no, that's a different company that has it too. So yeah, it does run on the 19th and the 20th. Trying to see if it's running on the 21st. But it picks up on the 19th and on the 20th. So it runs pretty much there. Here's another one from Dowell to Rocky Mountain. This is a good one. It's running, 19th, 20th. Yeah, 19th and 20th also too. That runs 19th and 20th as well. So there's quite a few dedicated freight out there. People always ask me, how do I find dedicated freight? I look for it. That's why I find dedicated freight. That's why I find a lot of dedicated freight. I look for it. Anything you look for, you're going to find it, right? Even in a relationship. If you're looking for stuff that's going to cause your relationship to end, you're probably going to find it, right? If you're looking for stuff that's going to cause you to stay in a relationship, you're probably going to find it. So if you ask me how I find why I find so much dedicated freight, because I look for dedicated freight. And if you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. So yeah, that's how I find dedicated freight. All right, y'all. Look, that's going to do it. Sorry, we got kind of off the mark here as far as what we normally do on our load board report, but we had a challenge, and I like to take a challenge, so I took it, and hopefully we was able to shed some light on this military freight. That's a good subject for a class. I'm gonna have to work that. I'm gonna have to work that into one of my training sessions on how to find military freight. I'm probably gonna do just a one-off outside of our normal class structure, and probably do like a 2 to a 2.5 hour broadcast just on military freight. So let me do some research on that, and I'll schedule probably a class, or I may schedule a special load board report on military freight only. So that's probably what I do. I probably do a load board report on just military freight, on something that's more structured, that I've actually had time to research and just look for military freight, and come back with some stuff, and then we'll do a broadcast just on military freight. But I thank y'all for joining us. Look, great money to be made in this industry. I actually got up at about 4:30 this morning, called some of my carriers that were not on dedicated, got them booked on some loads this morning. I'm starting to keep a running account of what I do each morning money-wise, so I can kind of give y'all a good indication of what you can really expect on an average day. Yesterday when I did that, I kept account. I reported that I did $900, but I actually did $1,157 after looking at the actual numbers and everything yesterday morning before 6 a.m. Before 6 a.m., I made $1,162. Okay, this morning before 6 a.m., I made $947. Now, that is not including my trucks that are already on dedicated. That's not included what the interns are dispatching, because think outside the box. I don't really hire dispatch agents. I use interns from the Florida State University, University of Florida, and FAMU. They have every big university has an intern. I'm going to put y'all up on game here real quick. If you are a dispatch firm or even a freight brokerage firm, every university, major university, has internship programs. If you are set up as a corporation, the way you should be, because I'm an S Corp, because of the way you're set up, you could qualify to have interns to do work for your firm. And he's good. They work for grades. They don't get paid. They work for grades. So if you want to keep a lot of your profits and get some good productivity, now you're gonna have some. There's gonna be you're gonna have a level of training there, because you got to have your training platform. You got to have all that stuff ready to present to the university to properly explain what you do and what they'll be doing from day to day to day to day. Okay, and what they're being graded on, because you got to grade them too. So you got to have to do some work here, not necessarily the same type of work you would do with an employee, but you got to grade them. You got to not necessarily grade them. You got to evaluate their performance and report that back to the university. And the university then grades them based on your evaluation and their performance. Why do interns do this? So they can bolster their pre-employment resume. So when they graduate, they have a resume they can bring along with them. Say, I interned for this company, and I was located in millions of dollars with a freight. I dealt with this shipping company. I dealt with this shipper, that type of stuff. Okay? Trust me, y'all. It takes some time to get it set up, but once you got it set up, you're talking about scaling your business and profitability. That's the way you do it. All right? So the number that I gave y'all is not from what the interns did, is not from what I've already got people on dedicated. That's just from carriers that I had to find loads for this morning. Carriers who I called, they sent me a thing saying, hey, I'm empty, I need a load. These are the ones that are not on dedicated. Chances are they're some of my newer carriers. But I've been making a point of calling them every morning and physically finding them freight. I get up about 4:15. From about 4:15, I start calling them up, because owner operators, they're up that time in the morning. They're up. They're up at 4:15 in the morning. They're getting fueled up. They're in there, getting them something to eat at the little restaurant, their morning restaurant, or whatever case may be. So I call them up, especially ones who are empty. They're up looking for freight. So I call them up, and see where they're at, and then I find them freight and physically dispatch them out. So from that, yesterday I did over $1,200 before 6 a.m. This morning I did over $900 before 6 a.m. That's dispatch. And that's putting me on the same level with you all. I'm not including my dedicated freight. I'm not including what the interns do. I'm just telling you what I physically did myself, the same way you would be doing it as you're starting out. Okay? So the question is, can you make money starting out in dispatching new? Yes, you can. But you got to go through the steps. You got to find your carrier. You got to pitch that carrier. You got to get them signed up to a dispatch agreement. Once you do that, then it just becomes a matter of doing what we're doing here, finding them freight every morning. And can you make money by physically doing this every morning like this? Yes, you can. $1,200, $900, 2 days running so far. And we'll see what the total is at the end of the week. So far, we're doing pretty doggone good. All right. Thank you all. I appreciate y'all. Let me give a shout out to all the people over here on YouTube. Kevin Cranner, thank you for your questions and your participation. Dre Wiggs, look, thank you, man. You gave us a challenge. You gave us a topic for a dedicated training that we're going to be doing later on. Michelle Eatman, she's over here with us on live, and she's over here on YouTube. She's killing it right now. There's government. I don't know who this is that keeps posting these little website things, but good morning to you. Christina, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate y'all as always. Keep tuning in. We'll keep trying to put out some good stuff. All right. Stop my share here. All right, everybody. I thank you all. Appreciate y'all. Michelle, Sophia, thank y'all for joining us as always. Don't forget, tomorrow night is dispatch training, 7 o'clock on tomorrow night, and tomorrow morning I'll be back here for the local report, 6 a.m. To 6:15 a.m. will be the start time for the load board report. I'm making a point to try to get it done every morning because I'm usually up at 4 o'clock, at 4:15 anyway, booking freight for my carriers that don't have dedicated runs. So, hey, let's do this every morning. Thank you all. I appreciate y'all. If you want to join our platform, go to therbbsllc.com or therbbsllc.org. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great day.